Too.
Right. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to our live show of Alloy of Law. If anyone is watching, I don't think so, but maybe it'll just be Joanna and I chatting about it. Which,
yeah, I was frozen again. I'm so sorry.
I don't know if I'm gonna like watch the show along with it and see if like we're freezing or what's going on because I don't know. It might be me. It's not. Wait, is it going to go live? Here we go. Okay, I'm watching to see if it's like freezing here. Okay. What's going to happen? Sorry, everyone who's watching. All like one person.
Yay.
No, it looks like it's fine. I don't know.
That was really... no.
Anyways, we're going to talk about Alloy of Law, which I have right here. Ooh, I'm like skinny today. Gotta fit it in there. It is the first book in the second era of Mistborn, and we are now 300 years past the time when there was Vin and Elend and Sazed and all those awesome people that we love, and the world is different. It is way different than I was expecting. Like, I thought it would be kind cowboy-esque, but I feel like it's almost a little steampunk-esque with like the trains and that type of stuff. So yeah, I was like, I mean, it's cool. I like it. Hello, Steve.
Steve, hello.
Welcome. I
have one friend.
We have one friend. I'm so glad you're here for us. So yeah, do we want to start off with non-spoilery stuff, or do we just kind of want to jump into it? I think we can
do a little bit non-spoilers. Just like what you said, basically, is that the 300 years after the original Mistborn series. And I think non-spoiler, one of the things I really, really, really liked was seeing how people now thought of the characters that we met in Era 1. And them, you know, because already in Era 1 you see Kelsier being deified by the people, and here like they don't know them anymore. So it really like, you know them, you're like, no, that's not how Vin was or how Sazed was.
You're like, Kelsier, really? That's what you think he was like? Like, you guys did not know Kelsier.
We know.
Right? Yeah, I totally agree. I think it was really interesting. And I mean, the Kelsier part made quite a bit of sense because he was already building himself up to be that. But I think looking at the other characters that they almost deified as well, like Spook.
I agree. I know. Like, Spook was the one where I was like, why? Like, Vin says, Elend, Kelsier, fine. But Spook? Hello.
I know. Hey. Hello. We're just
late.
Oh, you're totally fine. We're just kind of chatting about how interesting it is the way they viewed the characters from the first era, especially ones like Spook.
And we're doing non-spoilers.
Oh yeah, non-spoilers at this point. But we're like, that's crazy. Like Kelsier, we get it. Like, it's okay. He was setting himself up to be a god, right? But yeah. Elendville or whatever it was called. What was it? Elendel? Elendel. I thought that was fun. Did you look at the map and try to find the places that were named after characters?
I think I did that the first time I read it. Because this was a reread. So I think I did that the first time I read it. But I definitely remember that being my favorite part about it the first time I read it, because it was just like so cool to think that we've read what is essentially their mythology.
I like Tyndall Avenue. I was like, oh, I knew her.
Can I say something petty?
Yeah.
I was really mad that it was called Elendville. I was like, what happened to Vin?
Right? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, Vin was way better than Elend.
I know.
I was like, she's got nothing.
And she's like a recognized figure, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah. Whereas Elendil is all Ellen Scott.
Well, I guess
he's like the first emperor, right? Or the final emperor. Is that what they called him? The final emperor or something?
Yeah. Something like that.
Was it like he the first one and then like Spook was like the Lord Mistborn? I'm like,
Spook.
Spook.
No.
It's a little
But I love
ridiculous.
this doesn't come up until later in the book, but it's not a spoiler for anything plot wise. I love that High Imperial is Spook's like slang language. So good. And like no one understands it. Like,
And back,
High Imperial a little bit.
I know. You're like, you mean spook slang that no one can understand?
That everyone was mocking him for.
Brilliant.
Love it. Yeah, I know. It's like you were made fun of for speaking that way, and now it's like impressive to be able to speak that way.
Yeah.
Like their statues have that stuff on it and that stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was really fun.
And I will say, non-spoiler, which I was telling Stephanie right before we started, I was really expecting from reviews that I'd seen that this series would really, that it wouldn't be good. Like, I know Sanderson cannot write a bad book, but like, I was really expecting to not enjoy it. And I did. I really, really did.
Yeah, I was expecting a letdown too, because so many people were saying, oh, it's so not as good as the first one. It's just mediocre, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought
it's just a very, very different style. It's just a very, very, very different style.
It
but,
is.
Joanna, you liked Rebel of the Sands, didn't you? And that's kind of, I think, a similar vibe.
I don't remember the book at all.
You've told me before that you've read it.
I've read it, yeah, but I don't remember it.
Oh, it's like Western style. So
oh yeah,
a similar kind of vibe.
Yeah, I grew up watching a lot of Western movies like John Wayne and stuff. But I feel like I never really read any Western books. Like The Gunslinger is probably the closest.
I still haven't read that. The one I've read that is not the closest is it's I read at the same time as I was reading Alloy of Law, I was reading Run Country by Joe Abercrombie, which is also more of a Western. So
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No,
so is it your first time reading it? Second?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's my first, Joanna's first, and your second, right?
Second, yeah.
Second.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it'd be really cool to read it a second time. Even now, like I just finished it, but I'm already thinking of the things that I could go back and read it again and see the clues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get to Bands of Morning because I've read Shadows of Self, like I was telling you. And I won't say anything because this is not the Shadows of Self live show, but I like teared up in that book. And so I was like, oh, yeah.
I really liked the whole series, honestly, but I feel like this first book was really a good start in that it kind of eases you into the different style. It doesn't get too deep into like the magic and the mythology and all the things that are going on, right? It just kind of like introduces you to the characters. We have this really fun story, this mystery, and I don't know. I think it was really well done. But
you know what I wonder? I wonder if I don't know with whom we talked about this. If it was in our last live show, I don't remember. Oh, it was in the Vin character analysis where we were saying if you had someone who was willing to be spoiled for everyone and would start with this, I feel like this series would be a great starting point for people who want to read fun, cool fantasy, but without having the whole world building and everything go along with it. Then you would, of course, be spoiled for all of Mistborn Era 1 if you read this first. But I still think it would be books like these can get a lot of people who don't love fantasy to like it.
Yeah. I feel like the third book does get quite a bit deeper into things.
Quite Cosmere heavy. Well, not heavy. We're not talking Stormlight heavy, but like for Mistborn.
Yeah. Like for Era 2, I think that one definitely is the heaviest, and the first one is the lightest. No, I don't know. I thought it was fun. What did we think of the new characters? Like Wax and Wayne, Marcy, Steris?
Non-spoiler still, or are we going into spoilers?
I think we can jump into spoilers because I'm guessing Steve has read the book. We're going to just jump right in.
Okay. I'll say, I don't know if any of you listen. I think, Sophia, you did listen to the audiobooks because I feel like I gained so much more from it because you know how Wayne is always adapting his accents.
Yes.
And so Michael Kramer does that as well, and it's just so fun to hear him like talk in a different way, which I wouldn't do if I were just reading it in my head. So that I thought it was really great to have the audiobook go along with it.
Right.
That was just the one thing. Yeah,
No,
okay, we won't spoil Shadows of Self, Steve. Don't worry.
Book 1 of Era 2. Yes, we're only talking
Yeah.
book 1. We're good. Yeah, I agree. I really liked his accents. I think that Wayne's accents was some of the funnest parts, and how he's like, well, if I'm wearing the hat, I can be that person. It's a great skill.
Yeah.
Might be better than Farukami and all those things.
I like the new characters. I think they're fun, but I don't love them the way I love some of the characters in our first series. At least not yet. Not from this first book. I thought that Wax and Wayne were fun. Wayne was sometimes a little bit over the top, ridiculous. I really liked Marcy in this first book. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's Marcy. The one that we spent. Yeah, and I really liked her perspective and how she is like a woman who wants to do certain things and the society doesn't let her, and she's like, no, I'm still gonna do it. And so I really liked the characters. I'm not yet super attached to them, but maybe that will change with Mistborn Era 2, book 3 and 4. Who knows?
I don't know. I feel kind of similarly, but I really like Wax and Wayne's interactions. I think they're really entertaining. I think that's some of my favorite, is just the way they relate to each other, even though they're so different. I mean, Wax is just this serious lawman, and like every once in a while he'd be funny, but then you have Wayne who's just like, no, man, we're just gonna go wing it. It's gonna be great. Everything's gonna turn out okay. Like,
yeah,
dude, you can get everyone.
Their duo is awesome.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite duos.
Yeah.
I definitely liked it way more on this reread than I did the first time I read it, and of course I've read all 3 of the books that are currently out, so I don't know if my additional knowledge and perspectives about the characters are what changed it for me, or if it was because I was listening to the audiobook this time and that helps a little bit as well. But I definitely enjoyed it way more this time through than I did the first time I read it. And yeah, I think that Wayne can be a little bit over the top, but I feel like I now have a much better appreciation for Wayne than I did the first time I read through.
Right.
I can't say the series because it's not finished yet, but you know what I mean. But yeah. I think we don't see her much in this book, but I really, really like Steris as well. And again, having read them all and now reread it, I appreciated the Steris scenes even more this time. So yeah, as usual, very rereadable and better, I think, on reread.
Yeah, I think that's really common for me with Sanderson books, is when I reread, I pick up on so much of the cool stuff that he plugged in there before. I'm like, dang, I had no idea, like the first time reading through, this didn't even register. So
yeah. I feel like sometimes even on a second reread, you're like, on a first reread, so on a second read, you're like, nope, still don't get it. And then on your third time reading, you're like, oh, it was there all along. Especially with Stormlight. I feel like Stormlight will take a few rounds of rereading.
I haven't reread Stormlight at all yet, and
never.
I'm a little nervous. Yes.
No, I've never reread it.
Master of foreshadowing. It's almost like he's not doing it is the thing. It's like the most subtle foreshadowing ever that you almost have to have read it to get it. It's so good.
Yeah. Which is crazy because how does he do that? Like, how do you just plan something so and this is the thing, we now should be expecting this from him. We should all be on the lookout for little things that are like, ooh, foreshadowing, and then still he just drops it in so casually that you're like, oh.
I try to be on the lookout for it and it doesn't work.
I know.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's like I have the leather bound editions of Elantris and Warbreaker. I was just flicking through them the other day, looking at like the artwork and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a section after the postscript in Elantris, and I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry. But like I was like, oh, I can't remember reading this because it's been so long since I reread Elantris. So I read it and I was like,
I haven't read Elantris or Warbreaker, so I'm really excited to, read them.
I've never read Elantris either.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I love Elantris.
Yeah, you do. Most people don't.
So,
and then
I know it doesn't get nearly enough love.
The red herrings. Yeah, he puts those in really well too to make you like go on the wrong track. I'm like, that was well done, but rude.
Thanks.
I know.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of so this is the very end of the book when a certain someone gives him the book and I was like, how are you still alive?
That's the reason I kept reading. So I was very much prepared to read one book a month and keep up with our schedule and not get ahead. But then when March comes in, hands him the book, and I'm like, oh my God, I had to jump into the next book. I couldn't wait. It was only the epilogue's fault.
I know. I that's why I jumped into Shadows of Self too. I talked to my mom who's read only Mistborn Era 1. And so I was telling her, oh, I'm currently reading the second era Mistborn. She's like, oh, so what's it about? And I was like, oh, it's 300 years in the future from where we ended up. And then my mom does not mind spoilers whatsoever. And so she's like, oh, so do we meet some of the characters that are in the first series? I was like, well, there's Marsh. She's like, how the heck is Marsh still alive? Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Marsh. I love Marsh. He was one of my favorite characters in the first series. Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved him. He's just so fascinating.
And the whole thing about oh wait, let's see what. I was good. I waited.
Going to start book 2 tonight.
You should, Steve. I'm excited.
So excited for you, Steve. You have no idea.
That book, listen, it was so hard to not read Bands of Mourning right after finishing that. But I knew if I did that, I would have read them back to back to back in like 3 days. And I would not remember where book 1 stopped, ended, whatever happened. Yeah. I would have mushed it all together.
Well, that's kind of what I did. So I had to read I was like, okay, we ended on Marsh reading the book. I got this. Yeah. Marsh is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to have him come back in this, honestly. I thought he was gone.
The only people I would have expected either a cameo or like an appearance from was Sazed, to be honest, because what happened at the end. But anyone else, I was like, no, they're all dead. It's fine. When he appears, I was like, how are you around, dude?
Seriously. Ever.
Yeah.
I quite like how present Sazed or Harmony was.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's what I was asking you, because I was really scared going into the series that what happened in the past was literally just in the past, and we would kind of see it like as a scripture type of thing, religion, and not have any interaction with those characters, that lore, and everything that happened. And so seeing how present Harmony is, I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome.
I think it will go more down that line as we move forward in the eras, because 300 years isn't really that long.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's recent enough that although there are, the beginnings of all these other religions, it's still kind of recent history. But by the time we get to era 4, I'm really interested to see what the belief systems will actually be like at that point, because it will have been so long since everything in era 1 happened. So I think that will be really interesting to see.
I didn't know that he was originally planning for this to be a 4-book series. Honestly, I thought it was going to be just a trilogy, and then he added a 4th book. But I mean, obviously not, now that I've read the first 3. But
what actually happened was he never intended for this to be a series. Right. So he wrote Alloy of Law just as like a one-off fun little side
As he
project.
does.
You know, Sanderson writes 100,000 word books just for fun. And then people really liked it. So he was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just do a trilogy as well. And that can be era 2 now. And then we'll go on to era 3, which was originally supposed to be era 2.
Right.
And then era 4 was meant to be 3.
So are they all, I thought they were all supposed to be trilogies, but now that this one has 4 books, is he going to make the next one have 5 books and then the next one have 6 books? Because I know he's a very, like, he likes his things to be pretty and, like, have some sort of organization, you know?
You know where he lives, go knock, ask.
I should be like, excuse me, how many books for era 3? I just need to know.
6? That's my guess.
You haven't brought your DoorDash.
I think he well, I mean, you never know with Sanderson, but I think he does mean for the others to be 3, and I think he still kind of sees this one as a trilogy with Alloy as a kind of
But
bridge
it's
book.
not.
No.
Yeah, I
Well,
think at
I
first
guess
people
we'll
say that
see.
Alloy is like a bridge standalone, but I'm like, it really isn't.
No. Like, you can think that, but it's not.
Yeah. If it helps your OCD with 3 books, it's fine, then do it, but it isn't.
Right. Yeah, no.
I sent you a question in the private chat because I wouldn't want to spoil the second book, but I don't remember this because I wanted to touch base on this, but I don't remember. Do you guys see it?
I need to
Yeah,
oh,
no, that must be
I can see it.
because I don't remember that.
I don't remember which one that is in either. Is it in the second one?
I think it must be.
I think it is in the second
I don't
one.
remember it, and I haven't reread the second one yet.
Because I remember it, but I think it's in the second.
Yeah,
but
I thought so too.
Almost mentioned that too, but I was like, wait a second. Spoilers. Yeah. No, I don't know. I liked the characters. I know you said you liked Marcy. I feel like I didn't love her that much.
That makes sense.
She kind of bugged me a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know. I guess I got spoiled with Vin being like this amazing female character. And then Marcy's like, she's okay. And I think she's a great, like, female character. She's just not my type of character, I guess. I'm like, eh.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. But
she's like,
I mean, she'd never be a favorite, but I did enjoy her. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Have either of you seen Sherlock, the British dramatized version? Okay, so Molly Cooper, the Doctor, she's like a semi-sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
So Marcy reminds me of like that kind of character where she's like, she's kind of in it, but she's not really, she's like not the main show, but it wouldn't be the same without her, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. I do. This is true. Her power is cool. I really like that she learned how to use it better after a while, because she was always told, like, oh, your power is useless. Like, there's no use even training you in it. I'm like, that's rude. Like, you can use all the powers to your advantage. Like, it's okay. Yeah, I like it.
What did you guys think of the whole being twin-born thing? Hello.
Hi. Honestly, I was a little disappointed that there's no more Mistborns, because that, I mean, it was a little sad.
Makes sense,
it does make sense, but I loved Mistborns. They were so fun.
Yeah,
I love that too. But it was cool to see that they were using different powers together.
I think the ways that they could combine them was really interesting, especially when they had the same metal, like our bad guy. What's his name? Miles
100 Lives.
Yeah. I was like, that's insane. That's just not right.
Yeah, it was
cool.
Since
this was your first read, and it's been a while since my first read, what was like the biggest reveal thing for you in this one?
In this one? I gotta oh gosh.
I don't know.
If you can even remember.
And in the chat, if you guys have huge, well, I think for me it was Marsh. Honestly, that was like a huge thing when he came back at the end. That was the big like whoa moment for me, I think.
And I didn't know which book he was giving him. Was it the book, the Lord Ruler's logbook, which wouldn't make really sense?
No.
Would it have been Sazed's book or Spook or anything? And so I was, it was Spooks, right, in the end. But I was wondering, like, which book are you giving him? What is going on? Why do we need this? Especially, why do we need this? Why is it important? So, yeah, because I felt that the plot and like the story of like the kidnappings and all that, it was fun, but I was more invested in like the bigger, greater lore of the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you find it surprising who Marcy turned out to be? That she wasn't like some cousin or something, but she was actually the sister.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was surprising, but I didn't think it was a crazy reveal. Because I feel like that's something you got a lot in the first era Mistborn, was all these illegitimate mistings out there, right? And so it wasn't super shocking. Maybe if we hadn't read Mistborn ever, it might have been a little bit more, but I think you just come to expect those mistings to just be illegitimate kids of the lords. I don't remember what they're called. Yeah. So nobles. Yeah, I think that is the word.
Which is weird that they still have noble houses. It's so interesting to see what they've kept and what they got rid of from the first era.
It was really interesting to see some of the houses that you were familiar with from the first one, but also see that some of them that were huge before are pretty much non-existent now. So, which makes sense because a lot of them got just wiped out after the fall of, oh gosh, I can't even think of the names from the first one now. Luthadel, yes. I kept wanting to call it Ellendale. I'm like, I know that's not right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else was in this book, because I don't remember who I was talking with, and I was saying, oh, but I knew that this was gonna be the twist from like the main mystery, let's say, of what happened, but I wasn't even like trying to figure out the mystery per se. I don't know if you guys were.
Yeah, I feel like I was really happy just reading along in the book and not trying to guess it or the twist. I was just kind of happy to go along with the story, let them reveal as they did, and not try to really get the clues and guess what was happening, which is rare because usually when it's in these type of like thriller mystery type things or whatever, which is just kind of like that, I try to guess, but in this one I didn't even try. I was just having fun with the story.
Same.
There must be something in the writing style that lends towards that, because all three of us seem to have done the same thing, and I don't usually do it quite like that in books.
No, me neither. I'm always looking out for clues and hints and foreshadowing and stuff. But
so it must be something in this writing.
It's gonna blow my mind. So
it's like, come on,
maybe also, maybe it's also because like we're more focused and interested on like the magic and the lore and
that makes sense.
Of it all.
The Sanderson-ness. That's true.
Yeah. You know, when we finished this book, though, when I finished it, I was thinking, what the heck could book 2 be about? Because I felt like with Final Empire, at the end, the Lord Ruler says, "Ooh, I was your god. I was protecting you from." So you kind of knew that there was this threat somewhere in the far distance that they would not have to deal with. But here, I was like, what could book 2 be about? You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I wasn't sure. I thought it would have a lot to do with the book. So that was my thoughts, because at the end it seemed like it was a really big incident in the epilogue. So in my thoughts, I was like, that's big. So I obviously can't talk too much about guesses, but I remember.
This is how I feel like this book feels slightly more like a bridge book, because the storyline in 2, 3, and presumably 4 is like more cohesive
Yeah.
And you kind of do feel like there's this overarching narrative, which makes sense because he wrote the first one with no intention of writing 2, 3, and 4. So it feels a bit more kind of.
He'd kind of need to write bridge books in between all of them then, though, if he wants it to be nice and like pretty.
Yeah.
Which I agree. I like him where I like it to have that organized pretty, like you can see like, okay, there's 3 books in each series and there's 4 series, and I don't know. I would be kind of sad if they don't look nice together like that. If it's like 3, then 4, then 3, then 5 or something, I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is going to go back and do a novella between The Way of Kings and Words of Radiance for that reason.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got ones in between all the others, so I guess I'm going to have to do one.
It'll just take me a week to write it. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the rough draft.
It's ridiculous. I actually really love it. I feel like a lot of my favorite authors do not write this quickly, and I really appreciate him.
Didn't he have like
I don't think
hundreds
many
of
authors write this quickly.
for this week? Like he has.
He's finished.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's finished with all of his stuff
finished
he's
it.
working on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it
everything's
right
at
now.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like how did you do that?
Like literally, there's 4 projects on there, 4, and everything's at 100%. Like, dude, how?
Well, I mean, it is super hot and really, really smoky outside right now. So maybe he's just like, I'm just going to stay inside and write because I don't want to go outside. It's gross. Like we couldn't, oh my goodness, our air quality was the worst in the world yesterday. Like not just America, the entire world.
That sucks.
I was at work and you could smell it in like patient rooms. You could smell the smoke. So maybe he's just like hunkering down, having a little air purifier and like just writing.
Yeah.
It's a good move.
Yeah, I would.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it works for our benefit.
I wish more authors would do that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But, yeah. What did you guys think of the prologue? I don't know if was it a prologue or was it a first chapter? I think it was a prologue.
I think there was a prologue, yeah.
Yeah, it was the prologue. The part where he's out in the rough still and he's working.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I read it, it didn't really like draw me into the story massively, but because I don't really like that whole like gunslinging Western style thing, and I started it off and I was like, oh no, because I knew that that's what it was, but then I was like, oh no, it really is this.
Like we're actually out in the boonies with sagebrush and all that.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I feel like it felt very abrupt. I like it, but when I was reading it, I was like, I didn't have time to be attached to any of these characters in order to care about this super shocking big event happening. But it was still fairly shocking that you're just kind of going along, right? It's the prologue, and then you're like, wow, did not see that coming. So I don't know. It kind of startled me into like, no, it wasn't what I expected out of the book. So I liked that.
That is true. And I think that the fact that I wasn't attached means that every time he did think about, I already forgot her name.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like every time he thought about her and was like, oh, so-and-so. Yeah, thank you. Because I don't remember. And so I didn't care.
Lessie.
Oh, yeah.
Lessie. Yeah, I felt the same way. I wasn't attached enough to really care that much.
Yeah, I was like, oh, get over yourself. You know, even though you know that for him it's really a big thing.
I know.
But it was like, because we don't care as a reader, I was like, oh, I don't care. So move on to something that I care about. Which, of course,
I know. Yeah, I agree. Because I feel like in the other ones, like the previous books, when people would die, you'd feel it more because you were attached to them. But in this one, you're like, I literally saw her for 2 pages. Like, come on.
Not enough to care. Oh, look, we have a guest. Oh, we have 2 guests?
He's
Cute.
watching.
He is so cute. Oh my gosh.
I had a dream about her cat. I don't remember. What did I dream about your cat? That I was there and then he was snuggling me, but I don't remember what else.
You were here and we had to find them, and then we found them, and Shinji was like cuddling with you or something, but you knew it was Shinji, but it looked like Haruki.
Something weird. They're twins. Seriously, they look the same.
Yeah,
but I also
the
had a
other
dream.
one is on the balcony at the moment.
You have a video camera.
That's so cute.
Yeah, we've got, because they are not to be trusted. Like we have cat cam. So we have a CCTV camera on our balcony just to keep an eye on them in case they start doing stuff they're not supposed to do.
So cute.
Dude, I had a dream about Abby the other night. I dreamed I went and visited her, and she lived in this awesome cabin up in the woods, and she had the most amazing reading nook. It was like this little like library with all these books around and this seat in the window, and the window like overlooked this gorgeous waterfall in the trees. It was amazing. I'm like, Abby, if you could really live here, that would be cool.
I had a dream this week or last week, I don't remember. And the dream was that I was hanging out with Sophia, and she was here, and we had to find the Lord Ruler's hidden stash of Duralim. I can never say this stupid metal. Exactly. And then I was like, Sophia, you take this room in my mother's house because I know it's in my mother's house. Okay, for some reason. So we were going through my mother's apartment, and then I was like, okay, I'm in the bathroom. I'm gonna check the bathroom. And so I cracked open a tile floor that was like broken. I was like, broke it. And then I found the stash, but there was another metal in there that the ruler didn't know about, and we didn't know about. And I was like, Sophia, what's this other metal? She was like, how am I supposed to know? Let's go. And then I woke up.
Who was after you?
The Lord Ruler.
Abby was in your dream too.
Oh my gosh.
This was such a weird dream. It's like I hadn't even read Mistborn recently. It was just like a weird dream.
It's just always on your mind. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It just lives there, rent free.
Oh yeah. I love those books so much.
I know. I want to read them again. I just read them.
It's so sad. The other day I was like, I should read the Final Empire. And I was like, no, you just reread that.
I was just thinking I should start the Stormlight Archive over again. And I'm like, no.
I had that too.
Like, you have too many books to read right now. Those are huge.
I had the same. Sophia's Rhythm of War vlogs have been making me want to reread, and I was like, no. I have too many other books on my shelves. I need to read those. I don't need another Stormlight reread because then I'll have to reread them for the Cosmere Unbounded thing, and I don't want to. Nope, no.
That was my main reason not to. I was like, I already have plans to reread them with friends. Like, let's just
next
not.
year. It's not like it's in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. But that does say something about his books, doesn't it?
Right? They're so rereadable. Look at the cat. He's like, I know where that camera is. I'm going to sit right in front of it.
Literally, it just went onto night mode because he sat so close to it that it was nighttime.
Cute.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, his books are so rereadable, so fun.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah. Well, I'm rereading Rhythm of War, and having all of the Cosmere connections.
Oh my god!
Theories and stuff. Look at it.
I need to catch up on all of the Cosmere so I can watch. I don't watch the Cosmere Connections videos because I don't want to get spoiled.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I've only read the first.
Definitely don't, because there's so much, including for Elantris and Warbreaker.
Yeah, Elantris and Warbreaker, I feel like, are the ones that I definitely need to read before I can start watching the spoilers.
Warbreaker.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's not that you'll be spoiled. It won't spoil you, but the comparisons to the Marvel universe are like spot on. It's not that you'll be spoiled by stuff that's happening in here. It's just that you will miss a lot of those really fun Easter eggs, and I feel like when you're deep in the Cosmere, you really want those. because it just makes you go, oh my god.
Yeah, that's how I felt reading Rhythm of War. And I hadn't read Mistborn Era 2 or Elantris yet, nor had I read White Sand. And yet still, so some of the stuff I was like, this is so
I read
good.
White Sand, and I didn't feel like I got a lot of connections.
Okay.
There's
one thing.
Okay. It's like, did I miss stuff?
There's like one point when he's like, oh, and now the sand is black.
There are a couple.
Yeah.
So, the planet is mentioned once. Some of the shards are mentioned, and the sand is mentioned a couple of times. But it's not like massive. I mean, you can tell. Blue is for Mistborn.
Yeah, it's insane.
So you can tell that it's mostly Mistborn, but there is some Elantris, there is some Warbreaker, and there is some stuff for some of the novellas as well, which I think is really interesting. So Sixth of the Dusk comes up a few times.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Is Shadows for Silence also?
I haven't noticed anything from Era 2, but then this is only my
No,
time
Shadows
reading.
Shadows for Silence.
Oh,
you know
Shadows for Silence. Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
yeah, it's Shadows for Silence in the Forests of Hell. It's such an awful number. And I think it does, but I can't remember why. Well, actually, I can remember why. And this is not a spoiler either. It comes up in the context of that planet is a little bit messed up because of what's been going on with the shards on that planet. So it's kind of like tangential, but it's
I love how he connects everything.
It's so impressive. Hasn't he sold rights to his entire Cosmere though already?
Most of it has come back to him, like has lapsed.
Okay, good. Because I want good things to be made for this. They could make it amazing.
Or they could really screw it up.
A lot of the options have come back, Well, and he's planning on setting up his own production company. So
well, I think this series actually would be really easy to make.
Yes.
I think this would probably be the easiest that I've read so far for him to make because it's so small compared to the rest and the magic is different. I don't know. I think it would be a lot easier for them to do this one than it would for them to do any of the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Stormlight. That one would be...
Oh, Stormlight would be ridiculous. You'd have to do a TV show almost. I don't think you could do movies.
I think Elantris could be done really quite easily, actually, as a film.
Okay.
He should do that.
I know that... Sorry?
He should do that one first. It's just a single book.
Yeah. And I mean, it basically all takes place in one place. Like, it's in one city that's outside of another city. So you're in the city of Elantris sometimes, and then you're outside the city of Elantris sometimes. And that's basically it. There's like one scene that's somewhere else, but everything else is contained. So I feel like it would be pretty easy. And the Elantrians are basically zombies, and we know that zombie films are a thing, so that would be easy to do. And in terms of other special effects, there's really nothing in there that would be
cool.
Difficult.
That would be cool.
I don't think.
I just can't wait for them to turn into stuff. If they do, and we're going to have to do another reread every single book and then watch the movie when it comes out.
And then do live shows about them.
Exactly.
And I would totally be the person like going to the midnight showing at the front of the queue. Like, I am there.
Yes.
Dressed up as like some of the characters, you know.
I will have a mist cloak.
Oh yeah.
Actually, when I went to release parties, people dressed up, some did, and mist cloaks were the most common.
Yeah.
Things, which makes sense. I want to be a Mistborn.
Yeah, for sure. I think the thing that would be most difficult to get across with the Mistborn books would be the emotional elemency.
Yeah,
because you can't see, or you can maybe if you like the crowd situations when you see that they're writing, but you don't get the like, and now I'm soothing away this stuff but making this feeling stronger, like what Breeze was explaining to Vin at one point. But I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
they
they
have
could
to use scenes like that, wouldn't they, to kind of explain what's happening.
I don't think that's as important in this second era, though.
That's
I mean,
correct.
I think that wouldn't be an issue.
No. As far as I know, at least not. But you couldn't start with this one because then again, you would spoil the whole public for
That's
what happened
true.
here.
That's true. They really need to make the first one. I think they could make Mistborn Era 1 kind of like Lord of the Rings, honestly, where they make really, really well done trilogy, and they could contain it into 3 movies, I think, if they did it well.
Especially book 1. I think that one will be, except for like the allomantic powers, the rest is all super easy to do because you don't have anything super extraordinary that comes up except for like the Inquisitors or something like that. So
yeah, and like I guess Critic Shaw is pretty intense, but you could just get really good CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, the technology is so good now.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they can film the Marvel films, they can film.
Well, if they can make movies with people who are dead and like CGI the person in there, like you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
No, that'd be fun.
Was there was a reference, I think, at one point, this is only a minor part, I just remembered it, reference to Haze Killers, I think. And I just thought it was so interesting that they were like, almost also like this mythical thing that had to exist to deal with Mistborn, which is just like mind-blowing. And then I'm just like, Vin managed to wipe out like however many of them within like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Vin is so awesome, guys. I just love Vin.
I miss her.
Miss her. It's so weird. Like these characters, they're so real, and you just love them, and there are very little series and or authors who can do this, which is why I think you can maybe not like the way he writes. Okay, Sanderson doesn't have the best prose, but I feel like you cannot not like his characters. Like, I mean, of course, there are people who don't like his characters, and Vin, I know some people who don't like Vin, but I'm like, I love her.
I get it. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I like his writing style. I feel like it doesn't need to be the most highest, like purple prose for me to enjoy it.
I agree.
I think the way he writes fits his stories so well. So
I've heard people complain that his writing is repetitive, but I don't really notice it.
I don't really either,
honestly. I don't notice it at all.
I don't want to either. So if someone tells me that, I'll be like, don't tell me why. Don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they pick up on it.
I'm like, I'm in my happy little place and I love it.
Yeah. And if you like his writing, I mean, I don't have a problem at all. I think actually that is something that maybe if you're a seasoned fantasy reader, you are like, his prose isn't that great. But if you are like, The Final Empire was one of my first adult fantasy books that I read. And reading that, I was so scared going into it because actually the first one I had read was The Name of the Wind. And The Name of the Wind is so like, the writing.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, that was so difficult. And I'm not a native speaker. So it was so difficult for me to understand everything. And then going into The Final Empire with this more easily more easy writing style, I was like, okay, yeah, this works. It's not as scary.
Yeah. No, I agree. I honestly feel like second era's writing style is even more accessible and easier to get into than first era.
That's what I was looking for.
But I really I like both of them. I think they're very easy to read. And I don't know. I read The Name of the Wind before these as well. But gosh, I love that book. But I could see like if English is your second language, I mean, I can't even hardly tell that English is your second language, honestly. You speak it so well. But it's pretty intense at times. Like his writing, he likes to sound very high when he speaks,
When I was reading that, I was often just like, get to the point. What are you trying to tell me? Just tell me what you're trying to tell me.
It's true. It's true. He likes to hear himself talk.
Yeah, which I love that about Brandon Sanderson.
I
Like,
can't
just
hear you
reading that
anymore.
was just. You okay? Can you hear us?
You there? Hello?
I'm here. I just can't hear you.
Oh. We can hear you. That helps.
I see you.
Yeah. I love your facial expressions.
Like,
So weird. Well, it's just my headphones are being weird for some reason. Hopefully there's no echo now, but I've just moved to the phones.
I don't think there's an echo. It sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're
Difficulties. Bear with. This backwards thing I can't get my head around it.
You okay now?
I think so. I mean, anyone's guess, to be honest. I suppose it depends on what you define as okay.
Can you see and hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're fine then.
I don't know. I feel like after the second book, there's going to be a lot more stuff to discuss.
Yes.
Like there's so much more to dive into. This first one just is very much like dipping your toes into this new world that we're in. Mm-hmm. And the second one's just like, here we go.
Yeah.
Like we're getting serious now. So
there's something I want to talk with you about. After we're off live.
Afterwards, yes. After we're off the live.
I can tell you why I cried. But Sophia knows because I messaged her the second it happened. I was like, Sophia!
I'm still like so proud of myself.
Yeah, I don't know how. We'll talk about that later. But I think that this book is like really fun, and I think that if you know going in that, and if you have the right expectations, if you don't expect Mistborn Era 1 redone or Stormlight Archive books or anything, if you know what you're going in for, then I think you're gonna have a good time. To be honest, I don't see why. It's not the same, but I don't remember who said that in a video. It's like if you just want to read the same stuff, then reread the books. So adjust your expectations, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited for Era 3. I'm very interested to see how it is in like our time.
Oh, it's in our time. I was just about to ask, when is that set?
Yeah, so Era 3 is our time-ish, and then Era 4 is like
it's space. Yeah. That's the only thing I knew. Yeah.
Then the next one is like sci-fi, past our time.
So cool. So wait, in Cosmere timeline, this series takes place around the same time as the Stormlight books? Is that correct?
A little bit before, I think.
Okay. Like Era 2, I mean. I don't remember. I have the graph you sent me somewhere.
I love that you have a graph. That is so cool.
Oh, we're so weird.
Oh, I love it.
No.
I need to read all the Cosmere books so I can watch his live shows.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched all of his live shows for that reason.
I know, me too. I don't want spoilers. But
he does pretty well at avoiding them, and like Adam has read all of the books, so he's pretty good at avoiding reading out questions that contain spoilers.
So you probably just need to avoid
still think it's safer. To wait.
Is Adam his publicist? Is that who he is? Okay.
Okay, so it is set Stormlight Archive. So we have, it's set at the same time. Like we have Way of Kings and Alloy of Law at the same time on the timeline.
Ooh.
Sorry. So it starts with White Sand, and then we have Elantris, which is set. Sorry?
Sorry, I just got excited that White Sand was first for some reason.
And the timeline is the first thing. And then you have like Elantris is set at the same-ish time as White Sand 3. And then you have a huge time jump. And then you have Mistborn Era 1 and Warbreaker kind of set around the same time. And then you have the rest.
Crazy.
Oh, and there's still the short story. So yeah, I forgot about those.
So how big of a time jump is there going to be between Stormlight first 5 and Stormlight second 5?
15 years in world.
Just 15 years?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a long time.
No.
So
Okay.
maybe we'll have some of the kids now be adults or something like that.
Yeah.
People like Lift and what's his name? Gavilar? Is that his name? Is he still alive? I don't remember. So
Gavinor.
Gavinor, that's his name.
Gavilar is a whole other person. We won't get into that. We're not here to spoil Stormlight, don't worry. But yeah, it's only 15 years in world.
Okay.
So.
I love how you're like, is he still alive? Like it's Game of Thrones and everyone's just dying left and right.
Yeah, I feel like that with sometimes. I'm like,
Like who will die this book?
You know what I'm really scared of because of wait, Hero of Ages is the first ever series finale we have from him. And so I'm really nervous about Stormlight 5. And
I'm so excited for Stormlight 5. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
I'm so nervous. I am like so nervous about what because I always think like what you were saying. I don't think of Brandon Sanderson as George R. R. Martin just killing characters off left and right and stuff. But then I'm like, but remember Hero of Ages.
Yeah.
Just remember that book, please. Remember the pain.
So maybe he just saves all of it for the end. Then he's like, by the way, all gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he's said he's because he was originally, I think, going to have Yasna's book in Stormlight Archive Arc 1, but he's pushed it to Arc 2.
Oh, so she
So I guess we know that she's going to make it.
But he did say
maybe that's just him pulling a fast one on us. But
whoa, that's a spoiler.
Well, he did say that a character doesn't have to be alive or dead for them to have a backstory in one of the books.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true.
He did say that.
I was like, he can't spoil it like that. That would
because then you're like, oh, okay, I guess we know who survives.
Yeah. So, but
it doesn't help though with my biggest fear.
No, I'm like positive about that.
I also kind of hope it happens.
I know, because you're weird.
Oh, I was on a live show today and we were talking about the Hunger Games. And so someone said, I don't like that this person dies. And I was like, I love it. And everyone was like, what is wrong with you? It's like, oops.
Yeah. That's not the first time you have dropped that particular bomb and people have just gone, are you okay?
Like you like the death of characters.
I do. I also like that Vin and Ellen died. I mean, I'm not upset. I mean, I'm upset, but I like it. I think it was a good ending for them.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we want to end this live show? And
sure.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We're going to end Alloy of Law and everything else talk here. And then our next live show for Shadows of Self is going to be probably sometime in September. Hopefully early September, but we'll see because, you know, we have busy lives.
Clearly.
I know. It's already September.
What?
I know. It's insane. Oh, and Steve, I really, really, really want to know what you think of it. I'm so excited.
I really want to know what you think too. Come join us in the Discord and give us your thoughts as you go along.
He's in the Discord.
Just tell us. Just constantly be sending us messages as you read things because I really want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. See ya, everybody. Thank you. Bye.